Okay, here we go. That's right. All right, looks clean to me. Looks clean. Looks clean, JR. Yep. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Where am I? 12:05. Hello. My goodness. Yes, Noon Report Live. At 12:06. Good afternoon. You're listening to the John depetro Show. It's AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. Good afternoon to everybody tuning in. Part of our live simulcast. This is the Noon Report Live, although some people watch it later, which is fine. That's why we have it. You can watch it on demand. That is one of the benefits that, I've been on the radio for a long time. That is one of the things that radio, for various reasons, just never fully embraced. They kind of have with the podcast, but it's something, I think, if someone were going to work on the platform of radio, they would find more of a way that people could go back and listen if they miss something, because then not everything is podcast. So I don't know if that's going to happen at this point. At this, I'm not saying it's certainly not happening on this Friday, May 5th at 12:07, year of our Lord 2023. But my point is, it is something that just as a business. Now, granted, they do have podcasts, and then it depends on the people can go, but other platforms, if you will, long ago learned, the benefit of having things, as they call it, on demand, meaning people then can go and watch it, because then otherwise, once it's gone, it's gone. But it's not like that, especially where I have obviously really noticed it is with so much of our live streaming and video, which if it was just judged on if people saw when it happened, the amount of people that see it is a decent amount, but where it really takes off is then the afterwards that people can share it and go on and watch it and so forth. So anyhow, all right, I don't mean to sound like Professor Juan here, because there is a lot I want to touch on this Friday, especially I'm going to touch on, the naked man in Warwick yesterday, and I'm going to touch on that. But folks, this portion of the program on this Friday, now listen, the weather is going to get better. There's good news on this Friday. It is. The sun is going to come out. Next week, it sounds like pleasant weather. It's still not great. But the good news is tomorrow's supposed to be beautiful. And that's why, folks, on this, whether it's today or this weekend, PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center, 3688 Quaker Lane in North Kingstown. Folks, shop, local, family-run business. Steve and Debbie and Junior and Byron. Beautiful pansy flats, pansy bags, hangers and bowls. They have tremendous hydrangeas. They also have tropical hibiscus mandevilla plants. Stop in and see them. Easy to get to. Right off of Route 4, 3688 Quaker Lane in North Kingstown. Look for them on Facebook. They run a good Facebook page. It's PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center. And I often share their Facebook page. And what I mean by that is they update it and they bring it to life. You can see, okay, they have it right here. And I find it makes people more comfortable, because then when they go, they recognize it. Now also, a lot of people are buzzing about depetro.com. We have all our videos up. If you want to catch up on Cranston PD Live, we have a lot of exclusive content and stories. Folks, it's a happening. It starts by logging on at the website, depetro.com, which is brought to you by the Coesit Inn, 226 Coesit Avenue, West Warwick, lunch, dinner, drinks, and lounge. They're waiting for you at the Coesit Inn. All right, just programming note. So I will be out tonight. First one on the scene live stream. It's Cinco de Mayo, so we certainly believe that things will be happening. There was a bad house fire in North Providence this morning. Team 1 was on scene. You can see the video at the website, depetro.com. But I want to touch on, just in this noon hour, and there's a couple of different things. This is the noon report. And what I like to do is, for those that you're having lunch right now, or you want to, what's happening, and just kind of bring you up to speed on not all the news of the day, but just some stories that I think are important. And but one of the things is, so yesterday I have better video than what is out there. So yesterday, right around this time, maybe a little bit later, Hoxie, Four Corners, and Warwick, suddenly there's a guy in his underwear. Then he completely strips down. So police are called, Warwick police are called. And so we put together a little montage. Now, I do have video of it. But I mean, he's completely naked, and then he was tased by Warwick police, and they handcuff him and bring him in. So a couple things about that. I haven't posted it. I've seen some video out there. I think we've actually been able to get what would be considered the best version of the video. However, I am very cautious with big tech. And we're trying to, Sal at depetro.com is working on it. We're trying to make it as clean as possible. It's not worth, Meta, Facebook gets upset about it. YouTube gets upset about it. TikTok gets upset about it. It's not worth it if they're then going to penalize us by posting it. So we're trying to come up with a version of it. But what I want to mention is these individuals that see something like that. And there's a pattern of people, and I'm not sure exactly what to make of it, but a lot of people seemingly lately, they're tossing around terms about mental illness a lot. And in different situations, I don't know what drives it, but they're kind of preachy. Oh, hold on. What did I just say? Oh, okay. They're preachy about it, and they feel, some individuals feel their role in life is to go on a page like mine and start lecturing people that are commenting on a guy who suddenly at Hoxie Four Corners strips off and is prancing, mind you, prancing around naked. So, we posted it yesterday, and it's huge. It actually did better than I thought. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. Posted it less than 24 hours ago. It's already at 58,000 views. But what jumps out at me is the comments. And I sometimes, respond to them, not all the time when I can. But the comment that I saw that got my attention was someone, they want to lecture, and they want to say, and some of the comments are funny. He must have misunderstood Independence Day to mean Depends Day. Sal had the best line. It's a little early for the Gaspy Day Parade. Play on Gaspy Day Parade. But this business of mental illness, mental illness is a problem. There's nothing funny, folks, about mental illness. Excuse me. These people that are tossing that around. Now, here's what we know about mental illness. I don't view it that way. I view it as there are adults making poor decisions. Stop, listen to me, because no one else is saying this. Stop blaming everything on, I don't know what you people are laughing about, mental illness. No, it's time out. That's not a mentally ill individual. That is someone an adult who made the decision to use illicit drugs. Hold off with the mental illness is a problem. I don't know what you people... Excuse me. Wrongo. Tonight. Today. Somewhere. Someone's going to drink too much. They're going to do something stupid, like a drunken fool, and get arrested. Mental illness is a big problem in this country. Wrongo. No. An adult, it's so much easier for people It's like the homeless thing. That could be anyone. Stop with "that could be any one of us." Many of those homeless people are people that have made poor choices. Could be wrong. Could be any one of us. There's a study out now. A third of schizophrenia cases in young men are triggered by cannabis use. Do you hear McKee talking about that? Here's a news bulletin. Here's some news you can use on a Friday, 12:15 from Juan. If you have a mental disorder, don't use illicit drugs. And certainly don't just start smoking pot all the time. New study finds a third of schizophrenia cases in young men are triggered by cannabis use. And Miranda Devine in the New York Post said, if you wonder why mental illness is so prevalent in the United States, blame weed legalization. You tell them, oh no, it's safe, as long as we're taxing it. Totally wrong. Totally wrong. Excuse me. Whoever that individual is, he may have been going along his day yesterday. And I'm talking about the naked guy at Hoxie. I'm not going to break it in. There were people, and it started several years ago. They were smelling bath salts. And then they were stripping off their clothes because many times, whether it's meth or monkey weed, do you remember Chandler Jones of the Patriots? He thought, yeah, I'll try some synthetic marijuana. They found him 7:30 the next morning, shirtless in front of the Foxborough police station. Mental illness. No. Stop with the mental illness is a problem. What is with these? You know what it is? People feel if they put that out, they suddenly now, no one can challenge me. How dare you people laugh at this man has been... No, wrong. He's an adult man who made a mistake and used illicit drugs. Poor decision making. It's God's will. No, it is not God's will that someone strips down in broad daylight at Hoxie Four Corners in Warwick. There was a guy I knew growing up in Edgewood. Not a friend of mine, just someone I knew of. Never finished homework. Didn't get involved in sports. Certainly not a good student. Always sloppily dressed. Came from a decent family, right? But lazy, no initiative, wouldn't pay attention, started smoking a lot of weed, right? Would do mescaline, would do mushrooms, blah, blah, blah. A pattern of poor decisions, right? Various things. Got caught breaking into a house in high school during the day by skipping school. He becomes homeless. And what do people say? That could be any one of us. Wrong! Wrong, it could be anyone. It's a lifetime of poor decisions. That guy in Hoxie, I don't know what you people are laughing around. Mental illness is not... Listen, tonight, if somebody goes on a 3-day binge of doing blow, do you think they're going to be in their right frame of mind 24 hours from now, 48 hours from now? They start making poor choices. Someone's been doing, they've been awake and doing coke for 2 days. What do they think? I think I'll rob a liquor store. Poor decision caused by doing blow and been up for 48 hours. Are we to say that could be any one of us? Wrong. Wrong. Mental illness is a problem. Wrong again. Wrong. No, that's an adult. Thank God the majority of adults did not decide to do blow for 48 hours. I can't stand this anymore. These people just come in. Like the morality police. No one should be laughing at that naked man. Excuse me. It is funny that there's a naked guy. Let me get my water. That was at Hoxie yesterday at lunchtime. Prancing around. And then you have people, why did the police tase him? Why did they tase him? Because he was going at police and he had no clothes on. Broad daylight. 12:30. What about the other people? There was no reason. But now, again, I have the video of him getting tased. And boom, yeah, it must hurt hitting the pavement. I say thank God police have tasers. Because now that's a way they can get someone into custody. I mean, you notice more and more, didn't have to search him, but not to get off the point, but more and more, those tasers, I mean, they work. And it temporarily got him so police could handcuff his naked behind and get him into the squad car. Thought they were a little late on the blanket, but be that as it may. Mental illness is wrong. It starts with the legalization of things. You know, there is, for a long time, I want to stay on this, but let me just finish the point, folks. 12:21, good afternoon. You're listening to the John DePetro Show on AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. Listen, if you're the morality police, or you think you're going to shame us from laughing, you've come to the wrong place. And I tell that to people. You don't belong on the page. Yes, it is funny. This guy running around naked in broad daylight. When is that not funny? How dare you people? No, it's an idiot that did something he shouldn't have. And it's either monkey weed, or he's doing meth, or whatever led him to say, I think I'll strip down. He stripped down to his underwear. And he was totally naked. For years, what would they say? You can't gamble. Gambling's illegal. It's a bad vice. People get addicted. They can't. What do people say? I'm an adult. I have the right to gamble. Okay, so people start gambling. Now it's a major problem. Now there's a lot of people addicted. There's a lot of young guys addicted. Do you know there's a guy suing a casino because he claims that he has a gambling problem and they allowed him to gamble and lose? When do adults start becoming adults? When do people start taking control of their own lives? He decided to gamble. That was a poor decision. Everything. I cannot believe the people that want to turn all of society into victimhood. I want to go back to Bishop Hendricken. Brother Muller was one of my teachers. Tremendous. He used to talk about what used to drive him nuts was a drunk driver hit and killed a 5-year-old on a bicycle. And he, at the time, he'd say, these old Irish women said, oh, God's will. That is not God's will. That is man's free will. Several things at play. The driver decided to drink and they get behind the wheel. The parents could have been innocent enough, decided to let the 5-year-old ride his bike around the neighborhood. It would seem like that should be fine. God had nothing to do with it. Yeah, God, up there in heaven. All right, now we're going to take the Volkswagen. Boom. Now get the kid over here. What? No, now we're blaming God. I can't stand these people. Jesus, take the wheel. I'm just along for the ride at this point. Guy smokes 5 packs a day, doesn't work out, doesn't exercise. He's going to have surgery for lung cancer, and he says, Jesus, take the wheel. It's in God's hands. No, excuse me. No, who is buying the cigarettes? Who is lighting the cigarette? Now you're blaming, now it's in God's hands. What the hell are you talking about? Jesus, take the wheel. It's in God's hands. Wrong. 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 No, you decided. But I think it's too much for people to think, gee, maybe I shouldn't have smoked 5 packs of cigarettes a day. You know, I have lung cancer. I'm going to have surgery. It's now in God's hand. Hey, if I die, it's God's will. No, it was not God's will for you to become a smoker. You decided to smoke. Mental illness is a major... No, time out. Illicit drug use is a problem. If you are bipolar, schizophrenic, whatever, take your medicine and don't do drugs. You know, I had this discussion with this woman. Well, my son, he's schizophrenic, bipolar, but he doesn't like taking his medication. Nothing good is... Well, you know, he said he gains weight and it makes him feel dizzy. Well, better than, like, stealing an 18-wheeler truck and crashing it into an oil tank. He doesn't like the way... Guess what? We don't like the way we feel when he's not on his medication. All right, Sally? Folks, this portion of the John DePetro Show is brought to you by Falcon Pest Services. Call them today, residential or commercial. Falcon Pest Services, locally owned and operated. I guess it's just God's will that we have ants and roaches. Wrong! No. That's why God created Falcon Pest Services, to remove them. Termites, bedbugs, ants, roaches, mice, rats, mosquitoes, many other pests. Well, I hate to hurt God's creatures. Listen, they don't have a soul, which means you can get rid of them, especially if they're infiltrating your home. Forget about the PETA people. Call Falcon Pest Services today. Call John and Kelly, 401-739-1322, 401-739-1322 for Falcon Pest Services. Now, folks, this weekend, today, tonight, next week, whatever, if you're in need of urgent care, AtMed Urgent Care, 2 locations, got you covered. 1524 Atwood Avenue in Johnson, right in the Atwood Medical Center in 5750 Post Road, East Greenwich. AtMed Urgent Care, 2 locations, 7 days a week, doctors and nurses. Stop waiting at the waiting room or, the hospital emergency room. AtMed Urgent Care when you need urgent care. And I want to thank Lindsay that said one of her coworkers got hurt. I think needed stitches, someone to look at her coworker. And she said, we're not going to the emergency room. Juan said, go to AtMed Urgent Care. In and out in an hour. Hold on. In and out in an hour. AtMed Urgent Care, 7 days a week, 1524 Atwood Avenue in Johnston. Now, folks, good afternoon, 1227. You're listening to the John DePetro Show on AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. Tonight, we will be out. First one on the scene live stream. I like when people know, are you going to be on tonight? If there's news, we'll be on. Last night, there, was not. But tonight, I will be. And then tomorrow night, we're with Cranston Police. I think tonight, we're going to be in Warwick, Kent County. Now, if something happens, Providence, Pawtucket, wherever, then we'll go there. But anyhow, that'll be tonight. So, I want to touch on this story and then that story. I am so glad. Martina Navratilova has spoken out. This is... What is wrong with these people that are defending this? I am at a loss. But I'll tell you, look at Bud Light. I'm so glad that happened to Bud Light. Stop preaching to us. Bud Light is broken. They can't even give it away. The brand is over. That's not fair. They made the decision. And that woman still hasn't been fired that made the decision. But I think 2024, people can laugh. This transgender thing, Biden's all in. Biden is all in. Transgender cyclist Austin Killups, Austin, has finished first place, women's category, Tour of the Gila. Broke free from the pack, final stage of the tour in New Mexico, clocking in 89 seconds ahead of the second place person, Marcella, and Cassandra. How much? $35,000 for first place. 27-year-old was fully sanctioned to compete in the event. Hey, listen, here's a news bulletin. It's a guy. Ridiculous. What is wrong with these people? So Martina, famed tennis star, said this will happen more and more. Women's sports is not the place for trans-identified male athletes. Folks, what is so hard to think about this? Shame on those people. But it's the progressives. It's the progressives and the people that cave to them, to the mobs. Raimundo's part of that crew. There is no difference between a man and a woman. Okay. How come the WNBA has no players that the NBA wants? Why is that? Cycling. Another female quit the sport. Disgraceful. Well, I identify as a woman. You were born a male. Period. End of story. How much more of these stories have to happen? Swimming, cycling, track. Hey, Kid Rock knew exactly what he was doing on TikTok with Bud Light. Good luck with that brand. They still haven't fired. Now Bud Light's trying to say, it wasn't a full campaign. It hasn't even fully hit yet. Bud Light is over. And I have no sympathy. Stupid. Olympic swimmer Sharon Davies last month called for a boycott of Nike. Over there, Nike now is there to use transgender influence Dylan Mulvaney to promote its sportswear for women. What is wrong? Listen, don't buy it. There's more of us than them. Do you know the trans population is less than 1% of the population? And I shared on Facebook, Red Sox fans at Funway. They have the full Bud Light stand and there's nobody there. Listen, we are more than tolerant. People are tolerant. But stop shoving things down people's throats. What I love about the Bud Light thing is if you go to a school committee meeting, you're not supposed to say anything. If you're at the Rhode Island State House, you're not supposed to say anything. If you're on social media, you're not supposed to say anything. But then people voice their opinion with their purchasing products. You can't force people. The woman that thought that it was going to be a good idea to have the trans as their spokesperson for Bud Light should be fired from Bud. And her whole thing of, we need to be inclusive, and these people are deranged. And there's so many of them. They're progressives and they're loud. And it's nonsense what they're preaching, and no one is buying into it. And I mean nobody. So good. Let them all go out and buy Bud Light. I love that. No one at Fenway will go up and buy one. Good. Too bad. People are tired of it from Hollywood. They're tired of it in the schools. Tired of being preached at it. And I told you, I was at William Hall Library. Reverend Donald Anderson, who's now become Donnie Anderson, and he's in his 70s. And he's up there now. Oh, he's got the long hair and whatever, he's dressed wearing a smock. Donald has become Donnie. And trans rights are human rights. It's perfectly normal for a man to want to be a woman. No, it's not. No, it's not. Many of them have mental problems. When did that become the trans rights are human rights? Screaming. I'm perfectly normal. Yeah, you're normal, okay? Stop it. No, you're not. Hey, listen, just whatever happened, just be a gay guy. When did that go out of fashion? Be a gay woman. Whatever. No one even cares anymore. Cicilline, no one even blinks. Whatever. We're over it. It turns out we're a very tolerant society. I identify as an old woman. Well, good luck with that, Reverend. Listen, preacher. Trans rights are human rights. Screaming. Like a maniac. Media won't even question it. Listen, now the next thing you watch, they'll start to defend the naked guy in Warwick yesterday at Hoxie. Naked rights are human. Wrong. Excuse me. We have decency. We have standards. No. Mental health is a big problem. Right. You know what else is? Illicit drugs. Hey, listen, Harry, next time at lunchtime, maybe chill out, cool it on the meth. There's a little tip from Captain Juan, Dr. Juan. God almighty. Mental illness is a problem. Yeah, and it's not helped by people using monkey weed. Ask Chandler Jones. You know what doesn't help mental illness? Meth. Ask Meth Mouth. I think I'll go naked. Well, I don't know if that's a good idea, Meth Mouth. Gee, one moment you were clothed, the next moment you used illicit drugs, and suddenly you're taking your clothes off. I mean, at the risk of sounding like Sherlock Holmes, or Columbo, I'm willing to bet that maybe it has something to do with the drugs you just used. That could be any one of us. No, it would be anyone that used the illicit drugs. I don't do meth. I've never done meth. So whatever fallout there is from doing meth is not going to affect those that didn't do meth. You know, there are plenty of young guys who didn't do steroids. So they don't have problems with their body falling apart in their 40s and 50s. Lyle Alzado used something used with horses. So what happened was, his muscles got big. You know what also got big? His tumors. Remember that? Lyle Alzado, cover of Sports Illustrated. I lied. Yeah, no kidding. Boy, it's hard to believe. Look at him out there. He's hitting the bag like he's 22 and he's 42. It's amazing. Gee, I wonder what that would be. His tumors that were the size of the head of a pin suddenly were the size of a grapefruit. Everything grew. That could be any one of us. No, wrong. No, that's anyone who's using whatever the horse thing was that he used. God, these people with the stupid defenses. You know, yesterday I posted the video of them taking the truck out. Someone posted on the Facebook page, "You're violating the HIPAA laws." HIPAA, you don't even know what HIPAA is. HIPAA, the truck was in the bay. The family, the story was everywhere. You know, these people have no idea. You know, once a month at least, I get contacted by someone who threatens legal action. I didn't give you permission to film me. I was standing on a public street filming a crime scene when you walked in front or were in the picture. I didn't give you my permission to film me on Broad Street. I don't need your permission to film you on Broad Street. Yeah, right. I didn't give you permission to... Hey, listen, I don't know how else to explain it. Have your law firm, Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe, have them reach out to Attorney Dodd. At least once a month, I hear from these degenerates. There'll be legal action. Now, it's from them, not an attorney. There'll be legal action. I didn't give you permission to film me at that crime scene. Hey, I don't need permission to film you at a crime scene. Just like the people that are trying to defend the loudmouth from Coventry. Please, back up. Please back up. Sister Mary Elephant. Please back up. The police are in charge. Okay? I don't know who you are. I don't know who gave you the impression that you were in charge here. Whoever did, don't listen to them, because you're not. Please back up. God, Sister Mary Elephant. Class. Folks, you can tell it's the Friday show with Juan. Now, we will be going all weekend, obviously, with the live stream. Folks, this portion of the John depetro show, hey, it's brought to you by J. Perry Paving. You know, call them today. Father's Day is coming up. Mother's Day. Get a free estimate. Driveway, parking lot, letter J, Perry Paving. Residential, commercial, high quality, fair pricing, exceptional service. Free estimate, any project. Picture your home or parking lot now. Picture it with the driveway paved. 401-732-1730. 401-732-1730. Letter J. Perry Paving. High quality, fair pricing, exceptional service. Call them today. They're tremendous. And remember, no one's better to veterans than J. Perry Paving. Call them 401-732-1730. You can find them on Facebook. Licensed and insured. Contracting company, Harry. J. Perry Paving. Call them for a free quote. Maybe it's a brand new project. Maybe it is just refreshed. J. Perry Paving. Call them 401-732-1730. All right, here's a news bulletin. Governor McKee, no public events scheduled for today. Could anyone keep less of a profile? Governor McKee is so upset that Biden is ending. COVID is now officially over. I mean, it's officially completely over. It didn't happen right away. I don't understand these people. Notice how it just disappeared? You mean 3 years later? No, I didn't notice that. The damage that's been done, the lockdowns, the masks, it just disappeared? No, we learned a lot about it. A lot of people got the vaccine. A lot of the people that had low immune systems or were obese all perished. No, I would argue. I don't think it just disappeared. I don't think that way in any way. I think it's not May of 2020. It's May of 23. I know that's a talking point out there. People are supposed to say, notice it just disappeared. Just disappeared? No, I completely disagree with that assessment of COVID. All right, I also want to remind you about our friend Tom Bryan. Now listen, don't panic about this banking situation. The last thing you want to do is panic. And I have another topic I want to tell you about. And this is not going to make the Rhode Island Republican Party happy. How about Charles, the man who is king? There are people saying, why is it persisting? Scale back coronation costs $125 million. Could be first post-colonial royal. But the banking situation, it is true. It is something to be alarmed about. Yes, no question. Right? Something definitely to be concerned about. Understood. But you don't want to do anything rash. Job growth smashes expectations. That's a good sign. Black unemployment at a record low. That's positive. Data keeps defying slowdown. That's positive. But the bank thing, I know it has some people concerned. That's why what I'm offering you on this Friday is our friend Tom Bryan, Ameriprise. Number one, he's a member of Team 1. Number two, call him today, 401-434-1510. 401-434-1510. Offices located 400 Massasoit Avenue in East Providence. It's a free consultation. Before you take all your money out and put it in a mattress, before you start buying gold, before you're convinced that buying crypto or whatever, call Tom Bryan today at Ameriprise, 401-434-1510. Listen, it's a chance to sit down with a trusted professional. Well, how long have they been around? 125 years. Ameriprise Financial, our guy Tom Bryan, 401-434-1510. I share his page on Facebook. All right, now the other story that I want to mention, and I'm not trying to belabor the point. I started to mention it yesterday, I have to admit, I am surprised. I saw the headline. Today's Friday. I saw the headline on Wednesday, and I wanted Patrick Anderson of the Providence Journal, Rhode Island voter fraud. Board of Elections investigating double ballot issue. The investigation revolves around whether the 5 voters in question either accidentally or on purpose cast an early in-person ballot in the November election, and also cast an absentee ballot. So I thought, no good. This is a good thing. I've been saying this is happening. Now you're going to start to see the Rhode Island Republican Party come in action. Now it's going to happen. This is what we've been waiting for, right? It's almost like the other team fumbles, and then you got the ball. Good. Right? The other team fumbles on their own 20. You're in the red zone. Now we have a chance. Now we're going to get some points on the board. This is what we've been waiting for. An investigation, granted 6 months later, as Attorney Dodd mentions. 6 months later, but they're actually using the words Board of Elections, Secretary of State, voter fraud. So let's start reading the press releases from the Rhode Island Republican Party. Here's one from Senate Minority Leader Jessica De La Cruz. Blank. Here's one from Minority Leader Mike Chippendale. Now we're getting somewhere. Nothing. Brian Newberry steps up, lowers the boom. 0. Anyone that ran for office. Silence. Folks, what exactly? Even Chairman Joe Powers who I was encouraging and had him on. I've asked a very simple question that I can't even get an answer to. Okay, so the Board of Elections and the Rhode Island Secretary of State admit there's at least 5 cases of double voting. 5 in the November election. Here's my question, and it's an easy one and it's a good one. Spoiler alert. How do we know that this wasn't done during the primary? They don't. Which means, therefore, thereby, it is absolutely possible that it happened during the primary. Yes. I want to come back to, I'm at a loss. Like, what are you waiting for, Senator Cruz? And by the way, if she's your state senator, contact her. Newberry, Fenton Fung, Patricia Morgan even. What are they waiting for? You find Rhode Island election officials are investigating double voting in the election. Where's the press conference? Where's the press release? Where's demanding answers? Where are the state police? Let's begin, this is the beginning of the investigation. Where is any of that? Zero silence. Folks, I'm going to repeat what I said to, and by the way, all these people that are running around screening the film 2,000 Mules, all the people that are screaming about everything they scream about, illegals and blah, blah, blah. I'm at a loss. That should have been the number one story of the week. Silence. The affected party is silent on it. I am without explanation. Now, I want to be really clear. I don't tell people how to do their job. What do I mean by that? Did I send a text to Chairman Powers saying, what are you waiting for? What's happening here? No, I'm not going to do that. The other day, someone contacted me and said they wanted my input and advice, and I was very happy to provide it. But if they're not going to do that, I don't know what else to tell. I don't know what they're waiting for. Now, if they had done an avalanche on this, if they had done a press conference on this, if they had done press releases on it, other media would pick up on the story. I know what I'm talking about. Channel 12, they looked around. No one bid on it. No one furthered the story. Channel 10 did not further the story. The Boston Globe did not further the story. By the way, I also just want to mention, we do have the name of the person that was in the truck in East Providence. Now, they don't believe foul play. And they don't believe, they're not saying criminal act. So what does that mean? So it was one of two things. One of two things. Either something happened and the individual accidentally drove their truck into Narragansett Bay early yesterday morning, or it was intentional and maybe they left a note or a text or whatever. However, since it is not a criminal probe, police really don't give out any more info. I've had people know, what was it? I don't take that in a bad way, because I could see where people would be curious about it. But once it's not a criminal matter, whether it was an accident, whether it's one of those things that now would only be known to the family. It's possible. I mean, if the family wanted to have an autopsy, if someone had like a medical emergency, heart attack, and they accidentally drove their pickup truck at 5 o'clock in the morning into the bay, then that would be up to the family to find it out. If someone said this is their way to exit, that would be up for the family to find out. But just so everyone's clear, that's not something of, I got one of those messages from someone, I need you to dig on. I'm not digging on that. I need you to dig. All right, go get a shovel and stand in your backyard. What are you talking about? Wrong. No. Are we going to let this go unsolved? Yes. It's not a criminal matter. So if it was accidental or it was intentional, that individual is gone. It's up to the family. Folks, that's just, and I know not everyone likes that. I need you to dig on that. I'm dig on this. You need or want? Do we really have to have a conversation about needs and wants? No, you don't need me to dig on it. You'd like me to dig on it. I don't see a need to dig on that. For what? Folks, this portion of the John DePetro Show, it's brought to you by Limitless Outdoors. Now listen, the good weather is finally here. And it is. Next week, it's going to be in the 70s. Sun will be out. Tomorrow sounds like a beautiful day. You could be enjoying yourself outside with Limitless Outdoors. Call Chris today, 401-580-1852. 401-580-1852. Limitless Outdoors. Get a free quote. It's really simple. It starts with a phone call to 401-580-1852. I do share their Facebook page. It starts with a discussion then. Point two, they come out to your home and they see your outdoor space. And then they can design it. Maybe you want to really spruce up your patio. That's a great idea. Or a walkway. Or some outdoor steps. Or an outdoor kitchen. Landscape lighting. Retaining walls. Lawn installations. Excavation. They can update your indoor fireplace or kitchen. Folks, Limitless Outdoors. You're ready to change your outdoor space? Well, free consultation. Limitless Outdoors. Based in Smithfield. Call Chris today, 401-580-1852. 401-580-1852. Fire pit, fireplace, outdoor kitchen, outdoor patio. People are discovering it is expensive right now to build. Right? It is expensive. I was speaking to someone who they were adding addition onto their home. And since they were first quoted to now and they're about to start, and I'm not laughing, but it's tripled in price. It's not your imagination. Folks, Limitless Outdoors. All right, instead of having the room you can use 12 months a year, how about something you can use 6 months a year, 9 months a year? Limitless Outdoors. Contact Chris today. Well, folks, good afternoon at 12:52. You're listening to the John DePetro Show. It's AM 1380, 99.9 FM. Programming note, we will be doing tomorrow night, Saturday night, riding with the Cranston Police. Cranston PD Live. How about this? Episode 21 is tomorrow night. And we'll be the Juan and the Paisan. We will be with Sergeant Corvasi with the Cranston Police Department, who are just fantastic. They are. So it's tomorrow night, 7:30-ish, until whenever. Until, I don't know. Until whenever, at least for a little while. So, all right, let's check in with our friend John Francis at Competition Shooting Supplies. And tonight, I will be, listen, who knows what's going to happen, but we'll be out. Tonight will be First One on the Scene live stream, and we'll be out. I think, it's wherever something happens. Right? It won't be limited to one jurisdiction. If something happens in Warwick, I would love something to happen in Warwick, Kent County. If there's a shooting, something happens in Woonsocket, we'll be in Woonsocket. If there's, we've been to all the different, it's really depending on where the news takes us. If something happens in Pawtucket, Central Falls, Providence, Cranston, Warwick, Coventry, North Kingstown, wherever. We were in Attleboro for that huge fire not long ago. I think people get the gist of being the first one on the scene live stream. All right, let's see if we can reach our leader, Captain Francis, at Competition Shooting Supplies. Folks, 435 Benefit Street in Pawtucket, right off of... Folks, join us on the line right now on this Friday. Happy Friday. It's our friend John Francis at Competition Shooting Supplies. Good afternoon, John Francis.
Hi, John. How are you?
I am very good. Now, John Francis, let's start off just some of the basics. How are we doing for ammo at Competition?
We got plenty of ammo, and I even got a little bit more in because it was on sale. So I've got tons of 9. I've got 380, 40, 38. Still looking for 357 mag. I did get a little bit of 44 mag in a little while ago. I got plenty of 22 target ammo, plenty of 12 gauge target ammo. I did run out of 20 gauge, unfortunately. I'm trying to get my hands on some more of that. And so as ammo-wise, yeah, we're looking good.
Now, I also see on the Facebook page, and folks, again, it's John Francis Competition Shooting Supplies. No Facebook sales allowed. So, what can you tell us that maybe came in this week? Someone maybe looking for something a little bit different.
Let's see. It's been kind of slow this week.
Oh, all right.
I did get a large box. So I'm sure that's the rest of my Glock stocking dealer order. So I have some Gen 5 Model 19 MOS, which are optics ready pistols. I've got a Gen 5 Model 45. I want to say some Gen 5 Model 26 subcompact 9mm carry pistols. I've got Taurus. I've got Smith & Wesson and Ruger 357 mag revolvers in different shapes and sizes. I got a pretty good selection of compact, pocket-sized carry pistols. And I just got another really, really nice used AR carbine. This one's by Stag Arms. I haven't posted it yet, but I'll do that later today. So the gun's like new. Maybe had 100 rounds through it. It's got the heavy barrel version. In fact, Stag Arms offers a lifetime guarantee on the barrel. So
Wow.
if you're so inclined to shoot it so much that you burn the barrel out, they'll replace it free of charge.
And folks, again, it's John Francis Competition Shooting Supplies, 435 Benefit Street in Pawtucket. Now, John Francis, on this Friday right now at 12:56, there could be someone listening, and they say, you know what, I'd like to be a little more liquid. I have some firearms, some that I don't use. It could be one or two. It could be a dozen. Their options are to sell them to you outright directly, or they could sell some on consignment.
That is true. In fact, I've had a number of people bring some stuff in on consignment. Space is becoming a premium due to that. I've been seeing more and more people looking to sell rather than buy. As I'm sure a lot of your listeners are aware, the prices at the supermarket, the gas pump, the ridiculous rents that everybody's got to endure. So people are struggling right now, and so when that happens, the guns tend to be one of the first things out the door to raise money. So I do have some space available for consignment, but not much.
Okay, folks, you can call them 727-1716. John Francis, what are your hours today, Friday, and tomorrow, Saturday?
So today we're open till 6 today, and tomorrow 9 to 4.
You're the defender of the faith. Keep up the good work. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, John.
All right, folks, there it is. John Francis at Competition Shooting Supplies, 435 Benefit Street in
Thanks for calling
Oh.
My Health. Our retail hours are Tuesday through Friday, 11 to 5:30,
Oh,
and Saturday, 9 to 4.
we've hit
Join us for yoga and Tai Chi classes.
We're trying to reach Marie.
So our practitioner services are available by appointment. Check our website, its-my-health.com, for class and event schedules. Please leave a message, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. Have a great day.
That's nice. It's Marie, the Queen of Health. It's Juan. We're trying to reach you. I'm going to try you back right now. Folks, who knows? At 12:58, it's very possible that she stepped out maybe for lunch, or she could be busy with a customer. So we're going to have to reach her at another time. Now, right now, we're just coming up to 12:59. Now, here's what we're going to do, folks. Good afternoon. You're listening to the John depetro Show. It's AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. Now, next hour, we have another full hour to go. We're going to be coming up to the 1 o'clock news. We will be live streaming later. Cranston PD Live tomorrow night. But we'll be out and about all weekend long. If you want to find it, find the Facebook page. Find depetro.com, and then you can also reach me there. So at 12:59, next hour is radio only. You can listen AM 1380, 99.9 FM, or at the website, depetro.com. Don't forget the shop is open at the website, depetro.com, with great merchandise. At 12:59 on this Friday, May 5th, we're going to break for the 1 o'clock news. We have another full hour to go. The Power Hour is next. Leave it right here, all coming up on the John depetro Show. Well, good afternoon, one and all. I will see you tonight. Juan will see you tonight. Thank you, everybody. Make sure you subscribe to the page. Thank you, everybody. Folks, we have a big weekend in store. Cranston PD Live tomorrow night. We're going to be out, first one on the scene tonight, and then who knows what's going to break Cinco de Mayo. I'm going to see you later on Facebook.